Happy Tuesday. Happy election day. Get home. You know, teachers had to work today. Baby, that breeze look like it's about to fall. Hey, David. Just getting off. I got to leave a little early. I work through lunch. I got my lesson plans in. I went to a training this morning from 8:30 to 11:30, and now I'm headed home to the kiddos. Get made. There's no dance practice today, thank God, so I can finish my lesson plans for next week and work on my lesson for Thursday for my first evaluation from the principal, from the head principal, the executive principal. So, did y'all vote? I got up early this morning to go vote. Yes, I did. And the line wasn't even long. I'm like, baby, everybody must have early voted or something, because where is the people at 8 o'clock in the morning to vote? But yeah, I was in and out. Yep, Trump 2024, you know. MAGA 2024, this was on my pedicure. Hey. Yep, get off work. Okay, get to the polls now. Get to the polls. My mama and my auntie went early this morning too. They beat me. I was like, who y'all vote for? My auntie was like, I voted for Trump. My mom was like, I voted for Trump. Like, y'all just don't know how good it makes me feel that my 65-year-old mom and my 70-year-old aunt voted Republican and not brainwashed Democrat. Like, when I say I've been educating my mama and my aunt on all the policies and non-policies and the truths and the lies and the fake news and the real news, I'm so proud of myself. I think I need to go into politics. I think I should run for congresswoman or something next year in Tennessee. Like, seriously, I honestly think I should, because we need to get a lot of these crooked people up out of office. These people claim to be for us, and they not. They not, honey. They not. And I just don't get it. I just don't get it. Any person that has a brain, which that's every American, every person in the world has a brain, should know that she's not right for us. And it has nothing to do with, nobody wants a woman to be in control. Baby, I could be president before her. I could help this country before her. I told my friend, because on Facebook, you know, I have 44,000 friends, followers, or whatever, but you know, some of them are against me, you know, because they're for, you know, they're Democrats, you know, do you know, I'm not going to come against you because of, you know, what, if you decide to make a change about something, you know, that's just what you got to do. You have to answer for that. You have to, you know, deal with you know, whatever goes on with that. But for some reason, on Facebook, I'm Candace Mayo, Shantae Owens, I'm a coon, I'm this, I'm voting for a rapist or racist, I'm voting for somebody that wants slavery to come back, and somebody that want to take our voting rights away, and somebody that wants to desegregate schools. All these things that they're just lying about. So yesterday, my 10-year-old daughter, when they picked me up from work, from school. She was like, Mama, we had a mock election at school, right? So I'm like, okay, which I already know where it is going. So I'm like, okay, Janelle, so who won? She was like, Mama, you already know who won. And then I was like, yeah, baby, that's what they teaching y'all in those schools. She was like, me and my 3 friends, we voted for Trump, but everybody else in the class voted for Kamala. So Kamala, Camilla, Kamala, I'm back to that. Yeah, because we don't know who she is. So my daughter was like, they was like, you voted for Trump. They said he want to bring segregation back. He want to put us back into slavery. He told people to kill themselves. He want us to have a purge. I'm like, baby, what news are y'all listening to? What are y'all listening to? He told people to kill themselves when he told people to drink bleach. I'm like, first of all, he was being sarcastic. Second of all, this was COVID. None of us knew what was going on during COVID. You know, like, I just was like, but when I say a lot of my students, with me being their teacher, oh, baby, they probably done went home and turned some of their parents. And that's probably why not my executive principal, but one of the principals at the school, she had asked me the week before, she had came to me and she was like, I just want to ask you about the bell ringer, whatever that y'all did, you know, in your class that day for Freedom Friday. And, you know, so for Freedom Friday, I had did a lesson with my class and it was like Trump or Kamala, and it was like, why? You know, Trump or Kamala and why? And all they had to do was just put it on. I gave them sticky notes, and so they wrote who they was for, and they wrote why, or they didn't have to, and they just stuck it on the board. Like we didn't go any further. I read what their answers were, and then if I had like a rebuttal for it or something where I knew was not true, you know, I filled them in on that. But other than that, you know, that was that. And I just feel like, why it seem like y'all pushing y'all want pushing for her to be in office, but would never vote for a man who was friends with Epstein. Baby, he wasn't friends with Epstein. Move around. Then you shouldn't have voted for Obama then. Yeah. Obama and all the people that's coming out on the Diddy list is who've been endorsing Kamala. Jennifer Lopez, all out there like she on the movie enough. And we just can't take this anymore. I won't take this anymore. We should be emotional. She sounds just how she sound on the movie Enough, girl. We done had enough of you and enough of Diddy. And just like Beyonce, she ain't say nothing. She got paid them $10 million for nothing. She didn't even give y'all a performance. She didn't give y'all all the single ladies. She didn't give y'all nothing. She just gave y'all H-Town. Yeah, okay. What a fraud. Yeah, we need to, you know, we on the precipice. Some she said. We on the precipice. Something where she should have said, we on the verge or we on the edge. When she's like, we on the precipice of, girl, bye, goodbye. You know, I'm up here for my daughters, you know, my children, you know, because, you know, what the same. So which children? The ones you want to abort? Because I'm confused. Because all her campaign has been about is killing babies. That's all I've heard. Killing babies. Talking about trying to take away reproductive rights. Baby, reproduction means to reproduce, not to terminate. And again, nobody took any rights away. He just put the rights back into the hands of your state where they rightfully belong. Why in the world should the federal government have anything to do with what I do with my body? How about the state that I live in where I can go make a local decision on if I want to be pro-life, pro-choice, not the federal government. So these people just slow. We don't need no man telling us what to do with our body. The whole federal government been telling you what to do since Roe versus Wade went into effect under a whole lie. We'll start over a whole lot. That white lady talk about she was raped by some black man, and that's how this how Roe versus Wade even got started. So basically it got passed over a lie because she was not raped by nobody. They was just their way to depopulate us, and now here we have 65 million black babies that's been unalived through abortion since 1963. And if we only make up 13% of the country, then why do our vote? Why they worrying about who we vote for then? If we only make up 13%, that should let you know that they lying about the percentage that we make up. Yeah. Let me come on. You must have attended public school. What does that mean? I must have attended public school. Sure did. Take this. Sure did attend public school, and I was valedictorian. Yep, and went to college on a full presidential scholarship and have a master's degree. Sure did. What does me going to public school have to do anything? Yeah, I was bussed across town to school just like Kamala claimed she was bussed across school, trying to make it like talking about Joe Biden was I was that little girl that was on that bus for desegregation. Girl, quit acting like you was not Ruby Bridges. Cut it out, Kamala. You're not even that old. You trying to act like you was Ruby Bridges getting rocks through at you while you was entering into the school for segregation. Girl, bye. The lies you tell. Go back to Canada with your mama in y'all middle class home that she bought y'all. Hey y'all. So you went to the school without me? Girl, I had to. Told you I had to meet with the principal. Girl, I didn't have time to do none of that. Yeah, the lies she tell. Like, girl, what? I asked you. Okay, I'm gonna be Kamala. Matter of fact, I'm gonna let my daughter be Kamala. Where she at? She play her perfectly. What, Janelle? Janelle, turn it down and come act like Kamala. So my daughter gonna say. So like I said, so she said at the end of school, Janelle, cut it down. So she said at the end of the school, they announced who won. And so she was like, Kamala won. Girl, baby, she didn't win. She can win at the school. And then I just realized when I just left my school, one of my friends, because we friends when I ain't gonna call her name out, she had on a shirt that said Kamala. And it was like, if you don't know how to pronounce it then, and I just looked at her shirt and I was like, no comment, and walked on out the door. But in our front yard in my school, it say Harris Walls. I sure wish I had a Trump JD Vance sign, because I sure would have put it out there and would have dared them to try to take the sign down. So how are y'all allowed to have a Harris Walk sign, but we can't have a Trump JD Vance sign? Yeah, no way she could win, baby. She ain't winning. She ain't winning. We know why she won, because the teachers, they AKAs and deltas, and the men is sigmas and gammas and AK and alphas and omegas, so they want a AKA to be sworn in by a delta on Martin Luther King birthday while the Q's step and the alphas still, like, whatever. Who cares about any of that? Nobody cares about none of that. No, I'm not down in people that's in sororities, because I love all my friends and families, that's in sorority or whatever. But what I'm trying to say is,
one of our friends didn't vote for Trump or Kamala. She voted for the other dude.
Well, at least she didn't vote for her. What, baby?
Look, come here.
I know, I saw it. Who built it? Daddy. So it's a real engine. It worked. Oh wow. I'll let him show me in a minute. Stop. He said stop. But come on, Janelle, I need you to act like Kamala. I'm going to ask you questions. You're going to be her. Oh, wow, though. That's neat, though. Y'all, my baby done built the end. Come on. I know we've been had it. Yeah, that vote was just a formality. We already know. Okay, so my daughter finna act like Kamala. Come on, so I can interview you. Don't mind her ponytail. She didn't have school today. Okay, mute that over there, Jalea. Okay, so, the Americans would like to know. Jalea, get out of my bed. The Americans would like to know, what do you plan on doing about... Stop. Move, eat the burger, girl. I didn't even eat it. Mute it. Come on. Hey, it's deeper. Cut it down some. Cut the volume down. Okay, the Americans would like to know, inflation is high. I'm paying $10 for eggs and $3.84 for gas. Like, what do you plan on doing about the economy? When you take back the office, because you're currently in office as vice president, but what do you plan on doing when you actually get president on day one?
Well, my mom, she's black, and I'm biological black, and I think I should be the president because, I'll be Trump is just like I just like Mama, what is mayonnaise on her?
What?
Yeah, I'm just like just
Give us an answer.
you're like I'm just like better than like everybody, and like I should be it because you know like I'm like
Shallow, calm down.
you know I grew up in Jamaica, and like my
Did
dad,
you?
yeah, like my dad, he's black, my mom. I know she's like Indian, but like Indians are like Africans, and like you know, like he's trying to make us go black to. He's trying to make us go black to win. Like
What is black?
I'm sounding
Yeah,
like
you
her.
sound like her exactly. Where is Sally?
He's trying to make us go back to like what we was like doing in like the 1920s and like slaveries and stuff. He's trying to make us go back to that. And you know, like he's trying to like raise up taxes, and I'm going to like lower them just so it could be, you know, more affordable and valuable for people. And
So why you didn't do that now while you're already in office?
that's because I already know I'm going to be president. I don't need to do anything because, you know, like,
What are you going to do for the American people?
I'm going to make I'm going to make this
Don't steal Trump's slogan.
Trump is not as valuable as me. You know, where like I'm, you know, like.
All right, is your teleprompter working?
What is that?
Honey, you can leave. That's what you can do. Your aunt went to school with Ruby Bridges, right? So clearly it wasn't Kamala, right? Okay. You can leave, or my moderators can take care of you. What's not right about it? You tell me what's not right about it before I let them delete you. I'm not doing anything to my child. My child listens. My child done this to herself. She the one said that she talks about I grew up in a middle class home. What does that have to do with anything? She's 10 years old and she knows that she makes no sense. What am I doing to my child? You sound retarded. No, what is Kamala trying to do to my child? Trying to get her cut body parts off. Trying to get her to won't be okay with men and women's sports. Trying to get her to be okay with tampons in the men's bathroom. No, we're not okay with none of that.
No, because why would you take that?
She don't want that.
Because it has mayonnaise on it. You could.
She want to be, if she good at the sport, she want to win the sport. She don't want to have to go against a man in a female sport. We also don't want a Marxist as our president. Y'all need to do y'all research, and I got some research just for you. While, like I said, J-Lo out there crying, we're fighting for our freedoms. Girl, bye. Girl, bye and bye and bye. Shiloh, turn it down.
Hi, girl. Trump to win.
Yeah, Trump 2024.
You should
She
not.
can't consent to being on video. She can't consent to being on video. She right here with her mama. You sound retarded. Shut up.
Mama.
Get off of my page.
Mama. Hi. Trump should win because you like 51 and you an old lady.
Girl, go on. What are you talking about? Who's 51 and the old lady? You have to be older than that to be president. Yeah, it's not over with. Still voting. Voting go all the way out to 7 o'clock and let them tell it. I don't know. I'm trying to find it out, Janelle. I've been at work. I've been at school.
Oh, so you didn't vote yet?
Do it look like I didn't vote? Girl, I voted this morning. Girl, of course Trump in the lead. We know. Democrats just want to cheat. That's why they're talking about it's going to take to the weekend for us to see who won. Election day is today. Turn it down. I'm going to be rich after everybody give me my reparations. Just Jay, you crazy. Just Jay, can you get this person out of here, please? You, David, Steady Grinder, any one of y'all. Be my guest. Be my guest. She don't have to think Kamala want that. We know she wants it. Know what you thought. Yeah, what you thought her parents was about. Let me see. What you thought? That's why Trump on the car crash. Yeah, all right. Mama, look at that car crash. Look. Mm-hmm. It's hateful because we don't want to vote for somebody that's a pure liar. Okay, well, it's hateful then. She is not for us and she is not for you. And I got something just to show you that she not for you. Let's start. Where should we start? Yeah, because I got all day. It's election day. It's election day. Let's see. Let's start here. Let's start here where her own family members reach out and say she's not black. Okay.
On a mission to fund the pro-life movement, one cup of coffee at a time.
Own family members say, no, we're definitely not black. Nowhere in us. My grandpa was Irish, Syrian Jew. But okay, she black. Playing blackface like a mud. Okay, well, yeah, we're going to get into it. We're going to get right on into it. Yeah, I got time today.
Which was even crazier than what he told me on record. Anyway, the theme of this investigative content yesterday, it was so great to sit down with Judge Joe Brown. Really just incredible. Yeah. Even the stuff he told me off record, which was even crazier than what he told me on record. Anyways, obviously the theme of this investigative series has been identity crisis. There are people that are just pretending to be somebody that they definitely are not.
And no, baby, you should stop,
that I can think
Bobby.
Of nothing more fitting than the news that Eminem is
tell Kamala to stop pandering.
Or Detroit.
Tell her to go on and keep pandering to her Indians, who she gave $26.4 billion to last year.
And you're never going to guess what has happened this time. So a woman that lives in Canada who is related to Kamala Harris reached out to me about their
You don't got to see it. It's deeper. You can listen to it.
Kept records dating back to the 17th century. I'm not kidding, right?
Babe, I'm not getting information from videos. I'm getting information from records, birth records, selling records from her family themselves. Like, where else are you supposed to get the information from? Kamala show not telling us nothing. Yeah, only uneducated person is you.
When I saw this document, I was like, I just need to get my life together because this woman knows her ancestry in a way that is just impressive.
And the only uneducated person is you.
And she has confirmed that Kamala and Donald are certainly lying about at least one aspect of their heritage. They're hiding something. Stay tuned and welcome back to Candace.
Put me in your room.
Man, oh man, Judge Joe Brown. I'm so glad that you guys loved that episode yesterday. He really just has so much knowledge.
Thank you, the glorious content.
He does not forget anything. I have to go back and watch the episode because he was dropping so many gems about history. And I think if nothing else, for those of you that are kind of just awakening and realizing that everything that we're told in history books is really just a fairy tale, I hope it starts you on your journey of just pursuing truth, because we know nothing about real history. We don't even know anything about how and why America became America. We love this story about the founding fathers. In reality, it was Freemasons. Freemasons
started this country.
Freemasons that are likely very.
Thank you, the glorious content.
But
what are you here for?
That aside, I want to jump right back into Kamala's genealogy, which was the reason that I had him on. I didn't expect him to go into just casually how they shot MLK Jr. and he was on the case. And then he didn't say this on the show. They tried to kill him for looking into the case and realizing that obviously.
Did you hear that? They tried to kill Judge Joe Brown because he looked into Martin Luther King case. Everybody know that the feds had something to do, the FBI had something to do with Martin Luther King getting killed. Nothing to do with James Ward. He didn't do it. Wake up, people.
James Earl did not shoot Martin Luther King. The feds did. They murdered him because he was galvanizing masculinity. He was galvanizing men who could potentially stand up to the government.
Trying to open that bag and get my book out.
Having him on, among very many other things, was because he was a straight shooter on the topic of Kamala Harris, the topic of how she really came up in politics, really gross manner of coming up in politics, how she's really just been lazy and done nothing.
That one and the red one.
Interesting that he added that she kind of took care of things for George Soros. I found that to be very interesting and compelling because we know that her father, as her family members have said to me, her father, Donald Harris, is a dyed-in-the-wool communist, attended Marxist meetings his entire life. He's incredibly secretive. And now I can confirm that he has lied. I mean, we always suspected it. But he's a great-grandfather as a Freemason in Jamaica. I'm just going to park that aside because, of course, a lot of Australian questions. First and foremost, I guess if you go long enough into anybody's ancestry, everybody becomes everything, right? You can say, oh, yeah, and then on this side of the family, if you trace it, this person's English and Jewish, whatever. But I couldn't, I guess, come to a conclusion in my own mind as we've been doing this series. And I know you guys are probably thinking the same thing. Why is Kamala hiding aspects of her heritage? Like, why would you need to hide that you're Jewish? It doesn't make any sense.
Right. We don't care if you're Jewish, girl.
Was very involved, obviously, in the administration. Jared Kushner was involved in the administration. This isn't a country that's going to go, oh, my gosh, well, she's married to a Jewish man. So it didn't make enough sense for us to explore that route. But then we received this email, okay? And I'm just going to, I guess, at first read to you. I actually received 4 emails. Obviously, we're hiding this woman's identity, but she is a member of the Harris family. I'm going to read you this email that she sent me. She wrote, "Hi, I wanted to reach out. My name is blank. I saw your podcast about Kamala's Jamaican heritage. She's related to me, fourth cousin, by my grandmother is Michael Ralph Harris. He was an only child. My great-great-great-grandfather and her great-great-great-grandfather were brothers. The picture on your podcast is my grandfather, my grandmother, not hers." Don't worry, guys. I'm going to show you a chart to follow this along. Also, the Michael that immigrated to Canada was my uncle, my father's younger brother. His name was actually Mikhail. I have attached the picture from my grandparents' wedding day. It is on my mantle. And then she followed up and said, actually, our great-great-grandfathers were brothers. She made a mistake. It wasn't 3 times. It was great-great-grandfathers. And I'm also going to show you the photo that she attached here of her, because you might recall it from a previous episode that we showed. And she shows that this picture is on her mantle. So I had every reason to believe her.
Kamala grandparents.
Showed, and she says, okay, these are my grandparents. Did show this. Potential great uncle of Kamala Harris.
Great uncle.
That was Jewish, named Michael Harris. And she's saying, well, Michael Harris didn't have any siblings. So this was a tremendous interest to me because she not only included this, she also sent to us 5 pages of family tree, like just a document where she was showing who was born when, dating all the way back to
Thank you, SLL Fox. She sure does, baby. Definitely don't lie. I used to didn't like Candace, but and not necessarily didn't like her, but some of her beliefs. But baby, since she's become a mother, she has woken up.
People died, and she just had the Bravo Harris line, which we had suspected was Kamala's family, but we weren't certain until this woman emailed us with this documentation. And she just had more receipts than you could ever ask for. She was very thorough, which, by the way, Jewish people are known to really take charge of their ancestry in a way that is quite remarkable.
YouTube is blocking me again.
We all should be mirroring and mimicking. And so I just want to show you the chart that she produced because it gave us clarity. I mean, look at this
whole family tree. Look at this.
Sent to me, so you can see how thorough this woman was. And she is saying right at the top of this document, you have a Henry Harris, and that is the shared great grandparent that she has with Kamala her, then you can see Henry Harris had 2 kids, right? Henry Harris had a Joseph Harris and a Ralph Harris. Again, I'm going to show you a visual chart, so you don't need to try to stay up with everything that I'm saying right now. There's a lot of names, but essentially Joseph and Harris were brothers. And she's saying that Kamala descends from the Joseph line while her family continues on to the Ralph line, and that they were Jewish. So I'm now going to show you a chart because we worked all this out. This was tremendously helpful, and we were able to make sense of everything for the first time, because it's difficult. Ancestry.com, you don't know what's real and what's not real. But what we were
nobody on here is black. This is blackface.
She said, you know, my family they were Sephardic Jews. And so this is the chart of Kamala's side that she's speaking about. Again, I'm giving you a little chart because it just helps because there's so many names. But right at the top there, you have Henry, and then you have Joseph. This is where she says Joseph and Ralph. These were Ralph is her line, Joseph is Kamala's line.
I'm talking about her family.
You see this, and
everybody
you can see,
white, right?
You've got a Joseph Harris, an Albert Harris, a Joseph Alexander Harris, who allegedly married Miss Fishy Brown, and then you have Oscar, and then you have Donald, and then at the bottom there we have Kamala. So this is just what we are showing is that paternal line straight from Henry Harris. And what's remarkable is I sort of went, okay, so you're telling me that your family were Sephardic Jews. Let me look more into this Jewish angle. It would be very, again, strange if she's hiding this, but let me go ask Kamala's relative that I've been in contact with whether or not he can confirm to me that their family is Jewish. Like, he should be able to tell me about his grandfather. He should be able to tell me about, Oscar Harris. These people were all alive recently. We don't need to go that far back. Is Kamala's family Jewish? So first and foremost, I want to say, a woman in Canada says they do not agree with Kamala's politics at all. That is why she reached out. She said it's an absolute fact that Donald is lying in his piece in Jamaican Global Online when he says heritage is unknown to him. That is an absolute lie, and that their family believes that they are intentionally blackwashing the Jewish parts of their identity. So where Kamala is Jewish, they are inserting this sort of nebulous black ancestry that doesn't actually exist. And like I said, she keeps records. She has kept them all. And she's saying they are Sephardic Jews. So when I followed up with Donald's direct relatives, who I had been communicating with, they confirmed that what she says is true, and it's nothing that they're ashamed of. They don't know that Donald is not telling the truth about the fact that Oscar Harris was a Syrian Jew. Unbelievably, a Syrian Jew. Oscar's father, Joseph Alexander Harris, was a Syrian Jew. So this family is Jewish, okay? And then it kind of occurred to me that we've actually only been given one picture of Oscar Harris, okay? And it's quite strange because despite the fact that her book has colored images all throughout it, Kamala Harris decided to colorize, to turn the photo, which looks like it was a colored photo, into black and white of Oscar Harris. And so that kind of gives him, and we can show this photo up close, that kind of gives him, we're like, okay, I don't know what color
we can't tell what color he is.
He's brown.
He's definitely not black.
I guess we're supposed to believe he's brown because we're being told that Donald Harris is black somehow. We're not clear on that. But it is of interest that they've only presented this one photo. We are just led to believe that he's brown. And so I asked Kamala's relative, I said, out of curiosity, okay, you're telling me that his father was a Syrian Jew. You're telling me that there's no question that Oscar Harris was Jewish. So what color was his skin? Was he brown? And he said, no, he was extremely fair-skinned, like white passing. Oscar Harris was white passing. And you don't get that from that image. So once again, we have a circumstance in which she's blackwashing things. Very, very strange. So Oscar Harris is in fact fair-skinned, and the evidence is pointing to, and there's no question, it's not even evidence, like nobody can dispute this, Snopes can't dispute this. Kamala Harris is Jewish, and she's lying, or not lying, but not addressing the fact that she's Jewish, which is extremely strange. In fact, the person that I'm speaking to in Kamala's family says that the only person that had any melanin, like in all of Oscar's relatives, brothers, children, is Donald. And that is quite strange. Donald is the only person that has a darker complexion, which is why she doesn't colorize him or transform his photo into a black and white photo, because they're trying to push this idea that she is black, when in fact she isn't. And I believe that it's because he's Hindu somewhere. And the relative told me that's part of the reason that they think that Donald sort of started leaning into this sort of Marxist race stuff, because he was the only person that had a little bit of color and was treated differently than the rest of his relatives. Very, very strange, and something that is definitely worth exploring, especially given some more of the things that Judge Joe Brown told me. I know that we really should take a closer look at that. It's a weird thing to lie
Even
about.
Barry Soetoro, aka Barack Obama, is a liar. Born in Kenya.
Take a piece of your family that is Jewish and try to make people believe that they are Black. And this woman in Canada also made it clear to me, this relative, that it's also strange to them that she's lying about the fact that that lineage, that the Jewish lineage, then married into the slave-owning lineage, which would be the Browns. They established the town, and they have just a plethora of evidence and documents supporting that, while they pretend to the public that they're like, it's unknown. By the way, a little tidbit that Judge Joe Brown gave me off record was that Jamaican Global Online piece that we read, it's been changed. That actually there was a print of that, and it was then lifted and put online. And when it was put online, it was changed. And that he has the original somewhere in his attic. I was like, I will go through your attic for 3 days. Like, yeah, it was in the attic. Like, my ex-wife had it in our attic. I know it's somewhere. I was like, please, Judge Joe Brown, let me into your attic. I will search through every single document to find this. But there might be somebody out there that maybe collects. I thought Jamaican Global Online was literally just online, but apparently there's actually a print of that who may have that in their possession. So I don't have to go through the judge's attic, but I'm willing to do whatever. I'm totally willing to do whatever. Okay, now cutting to the other aspect of this that we're looking into as we drop all of these little nuggets along the way. So you remember Dorothy, obviously, this loving, bubbly Jamaican woman who was just so kind and kind towards Kamala. She very specifically recalled having grown up rather affectionately with her grandma Beryl, and also Beryl's wealthy son Kenneth, that is Donald's brother. Kenneth is also extremely fair-skinned.
Amen, glory.
Bike rides, and so we know that he had money because it was like
Kamala she told the people to go to another rally, so she don't
the truth.
Not interested in
what
Jesus.
Lady Colin Campbell has shared, as well as Lady Colin Campbell. Like, people are just freaking out because how dare you tell the truth when we're trying to blackify this woman? How dare you tell the truth that something's not right about Beryl? But there was something else that she mentioned that we were able to look into and determine the truth about. So Dorothy had told us that aside from having plagiarized a Black woman into her book, because that was not Beryl, she mentioned that while Beryl was light-skinned and possibly Irish, she had a sister that was even more light-skinned than her. So I know that we've been thinking this entire time this part of the family may have been Irish. Now I'm wondering if there's maybe they're Jewish. Who knows? Because as I said, I'm trying to piece together what it is that she's lying about. But we did learn Beryl's sister's name. Okay, we know for
exactly
a fact
the glorious
that
content.
Beryl's sister's name is Norma. So we began looking a Beryl Norma sister combination. By the way, I'm very shocked by how many barrels there were in Jamaica. We're trying to find them within the right timeline, and thus far we have only been able to find in the Kingston Gleaner. Remember, that was the only newspaper at that time. One Beryl Norma sister combination. I want to be clear. This could be a lead. It could not be a lead. I'm just presenting this to the public because I found it to be of some interest. It was an obituary in the Kingston Gleaner dated in 1976 for G.V. Ramsey. Now, don't even get me started on the fact that this guy, G.V. Ramsey, looks like I was vaguely recalling this face. Now, obviously, it's very grainy, but I say right off the bat that it looks like a Finnegan from Joe Biden's family. Joe Biden had some interesting relatives, but I'm going to save that for later this week.
Yeah.
But just looking at the face.
Yeah, I know Joe Biden and Kamala is cousins from the Finnegans. But we're going to deep dive into that next week, like she said. We focus on Kamala right now. But yeah, they cousins.
I found this guy, G.V. Ramsey. Again, this could not be right. All we have here are two names, but this is a person that we at least know served in both World Wars. It says Mr. Ramsey, again, that stands for Gladstone Vernon Ramsey, a veteran of World War I and II, and a former quarantine officer in the Ministry of Health. Norman Manley Amport died recently following an accident. Now, I want to say this is also very strange. So it says now in the next line that the funeral service was held at the Garrison Church up Park Camp on December 10th. and interment followed, blah, blah, blah. Weird that in every obituary that we have come across, there's an obituary and it tells you where the funeral services will be held. This one, the funeral already happened and they decided to publish this in the retrospect. So that was a little bit unusual. That may have just been the family's choice. It was just something that in my head I flagged as a bit strange. It goes on to say that he saw active service in the medical corps in World War I in Egypt and Palestine. And on his return, he joined the public health services and served in several parishes. He afterwards served in the quarantine services at Kingston. And on that next paragraph, it tells you a large gathering representing a cross-section of the community attended the funeral. Principal mourners included his wife, Pinky, his daughters, Beryl, Norma, and sons, Don, Carl, and Hayden, sister Bertie, and grandchildren. So again, this is like very early research. I just found this to be the only combination of a Beryl and a Norma that we could find. In the Kingston Gleaner, I would be very keen, and we have
searching all through Jamaica,
contact with her. I don't know if she's
and British
she's
too.
So much hatred, but I would be very keen to speak with Dorothy and to see if she had any memory of this, if she had any memory of Kenneth telling her what Beryl's father did for a living. My suspicion, pardon, is that Beryl may be like Irish, Indian, Jewish combination going on there.
I don't recall that either, the
and
glorious
it
content.
would make sense if we know that Norma was extremely white, even lighter than she was, which I would just say would just be white. Then we're looking for a father that's probably white. So that's why I flag that as interesting, but I'm going to leave it at there. Leave it and continue to go through your guys' emails, because there were a lot for us to go through, and then obviously we were prepping for Judge Joe Brown, and so we were a little delayed. But I do want to explore the Joe Biden angle tomorrow, because like I said, there's just some weird crossover going on. I know you guys know that Biden descends from Finnegan's, and they're saying that this Beryl descends from Finnegan's, and that guy happens to look like a Finnegan, but people can look alike. Yeah. I'm just, like I said, we're going to do some research and we'll present you some of our findings tomorrow. I want to tell you guys about Kalshi. Do you think you know who's going to win the presidential election, or how financial trade risk you argue this right now? The trans nanny is up to no. Here we go.
I refuse to do it. Barry Soetoro
is going to introduce. I'm not going to call him Obama anymore. I refuse to do it. I'm not participating in this scam. Okay. Eminem is going to introduce Barry Soetoro.
Yep, Barry.
Okay, there's Barry. There's our boy Barry, who grew up with a trans nanny. He's up to no good all the time, lying about being black.
Now we see why they want tampons in boys' bathrooms. He had a whole trans nanny in Indonesia. But some kind of way he ended up our American president. Okay.